Hello, and welcome to Bite-Sized Military History. I'm your host, Amish Smith. In 793, a storm was brewing, marking the beginning of a new and fearsome chapter in Anglo-Saxon history. It was the year of the Viking raid on Lindisfarne, an event that would change the course of history. And today, we'll explore that raid. The Vikings, hailing from the Scandinavian territories of what is now Denmark, Norway, and Sweden, were already experienced seafarers and warriors. The raid on Lindisfarne, a holy island off the coast of Northumbria, was, while not the first, certainly the most infamous Viking attack in this region and period. The raid was not part of a war, but rather the hit-and-run plundering that was already a Viking hallmark. The reasons behind their raid were primarily the pursuit of wealth and prestige. On that day in 793, the serene monastery of Lindisfarne was caught off guard by the arrival of Viking raiders aboard their longships. The terrain of Lindisfarne, an island accessible by foot at low tide, offered no escape for the monks and residents. The Vikings were a small but ferocious contingent, while the monastery's inhabitants were unarmed and unprepared for warfare. While specific names of the Viking leaders are lost to history, one of the monks at Lindisfarne, Bishop Higbold, survived the attack and later recounted the horror of the raid. The writings provide a primary source for this event, detailing the devastation and loss of sacred relics. The Vikings' tactics at Lindisfarne were straightforward but effective. Utilizing the element of surprise and their superior maritime mobility, they landed swiftly, struck hard, and left before any defense could be organized. This raid illustrates the Vikings' mastery of those hit-and-run tactics, ones that made them such an effective force in this period. The raid on Lindisfarne was a harbinger of the Viking Age, a period marked by extensive raiding, trading, large-scale warfare, and settlement by Norsemen across the Anglo-Saxon territories of Northumbria, East Anglica, Wessex, and Mercia. It shattered the illusion of safety that many Anglo-Saxons held, secure in their distance from mainland Europe, and demonstrated the vulnerability of wealthy monastic sites. The attack prompted reforms in monastic life and military strategy, led to the development of Anglo-Saxon fortifications as a defense against Viking raids. The success at Lindisfarne set a precedent for Viking operations. It encouraged further raids on monasteries and towns, evolving into larger-scale invasions — we'll discuss the Great Heathen Army in another video — and settlements, particularly in the Anglo-Saxon kingdoms and Francia. This necessitated changes in military strategies, most importantly coastal defenses. The raid on Lindisfarne marked the beginning of the Viking Age, shaping the region's political, cultural, and social landscape, and heralding the decline of many Anglo-Saxon kingdoms in the 9th century. It led to the Norse impact on language, law, and government in the regions that they settled. More on the Danelaw later. Thank you for joining me today. Next week, we will return to the Viking Age with the Battle of Edington in 878.